been watching President Biden sign what is called the Instruments of Ratification for the Accession Protocols to NATO for Finland and Sweden. This means the U.S. formally accepts their application to join the alliance, the 23rd to do so. The leaders of both countries were in attendance for the signing.
Joining us with more from London is CBS News foreign correspondent Roxana Saberi. Hi there, Roxana. So if fully approved, what is the significance of Sweden and Finland joining NATO?
Well, Elaine, it's significant because both countries had long avoided military alliances. As President Biden just said, they had a long tradition of non-alignment, but that changed after Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February. As Finland's prime minister once put it, Russia is not the neighbor we thought it was. Well, now if Finland and Sweden end up joining NATO, they would bring a lot to the alliance. Both countries have weapons and warplanes compatible with NATO, and they both already hold joint exercises with the alliance. They also have military conscription, so their societies are committed to national defense. And more specifically, Finland shares an over 800-mile border with Russia. It stores stockpiles of fuel, food, and medicine, and has built a network of bomb shelters. As President Biden just said, both countries will make the alliance stronger. Tanya and Elaine.
And Roxana, Sweden and Finland can't quite join NATO just yet. What else has to happen?
That's right. All of NATO's 30 member nations have to ratify the addition of the two countries. France, Italy, the U.S. all did last week. There are now 7 member nations that would still need to do so, including Slovakia, Greece, Hungary, and Turkey. NATO's Secretary General has pushed for the quickest accession process in NATO's history because of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but Turkey has proven to be the biggest hurdle. Tanya, Elaine?
Well, Turkey has been against Sweden and Finland joining NATO. Why?
Well, Turkey's president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, initially objected. He accused Sweden and Finland of hosting networks of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, which Ankara views as terrorists. In June, the two Nordic nations agreed to a deal with Turkey, committing to prevent any activities by the group, also known as the PKK, and they pledged to investigate any financing and recruitment by the PKK in their countries. But Erdogan later warned he would not ratify their accession to NATO unless they also extradited dozens of alleged terrorist suspects to Turkey. And Erdogan is gearing up for national elections next year. Some diplomats are worried he won't want to appear soft on the subject of terrorism.
All right.
Elaine and Tanya.
All right. Well, Roxana Saberi, thank you.